Just going up to somebody and saying, I want to be a part of this. I can add to it. And I think flipping the table, I love that approach because it's unusual and it's, again, it feeds the brain. It's like, how can a guy do this? And I know it works. It absolutely worked for me. And I think it worked for Rose as well.
It's very polarizing for me. On the one hand, I get responses that like my guts, and on the other hand, I get people that completely and utterly go the other way and they can't handle it, and they're like,
Yeah.
"Nope, I'm out."
Well, it's a divider, right? That's also a
Yeah.
good approach. And if somebody reacts that way, okay, you want to work with them. And if they go the other way, okay, good.
So about those bold, gutsy statements like that. I mean, I'm sure
Mm.
that Stefan, in order to have handled Rose for 10 years plus and endured that,
Oh,
you
wow.
would, you would have had to
Oh, wow.
make some gutsy, bold claims as well.
To be very honest, in the beginning, I thoroughly enjoyed challenging the system for the sake of challenging the system.
Uh-huh.
Right? They've always done it like this. I'll just because of that, I want to do it differently. And I have moved way past that. So a lot of things that are done in a certain way have a reason why they're done in that way. And if it works, don't touch it. It's really, I still enjoy challenging the system, but only if I truly believe it's worth it. So that has really changed. The drive to challenge the system is not a driver anymore.
The reason why we say don't mess with it is not because we're afraid of it, but it's because we now have respect for things that have settled, that have proven itself through time. And because we've now learned the value of time, which when we were young, we didn't understand time. Because we now truly understand the value of time, we know that when you see something that has lived through the test of time, there is definitely something valuable in there to be learned from.
Is it worth changing? What improvements can I really pull out of something? How much energy do I need to put into it to change it in a way that it really improves? And very often, experience teaches you it's not worth the effort. You might be better off putting the same energy in something different and creating much more value there.
Heard
It's
me always
all about
asking
that.
you, what's the ROI? What's the return on investment? If you can't answer that question honestly, then then what's the point of doing something?
Correct. Right. Right. Has the boldness changed in any way?
Whose boldness?
I hardly ever think that what we're doing is truly bold. It's like it's more along the lines. This is long overdue. Let's see how the world reacts to it.
Whoa. Okay.
That's my take on this. I'm not sure what you think, Rose.
I like the way when you said it and then said
Yeah.
in the first few words he had a preconceived idea, but when he heard the rest of the sentence, he's like, whoa, that was not what I thought you were gonna say. Just the way you said it made it bold in his perception, I think,
Okay.
right? Judging
Yeah.
from his reaction, he's like, ooh.
Right. Yeah.
I
No,
agree with Stefan. In our minds, when we go and do something, it's not because we think it's bold. It's because we think it needs to be done. And we can't believe that it hasn't been done yet. And that nobody else has bothered doing it or nobody else has stuck their neck out doing it. But we know it needs to be done because we know that the outcomes that we hope to achieve will benefit people, and so therefore we brave ourselves to just, hey, let's do this. This is something that we are investing in and we're going to do it. So maybe that part is bold, but the actual actions itself may not necessarily be bold.
as an example, if you look at corporations, they're very protective, right? They build a hard shell around themselves, and everything that happens is very, very secret, right? Go outside to talk to the customer, but just having a customer coming inside is, ooh, maybe not so good, right?
Right.
So I'm not sure where that comes from, but it's very often driven by secrecy, or somebody may steal our ideas or whatever. And then taking an internal reflective learning format that we just having that is a big thing in an organization like mine. And then going, let's do this in public and invite anybody who comes along. We didn't do that to provoke anything. We did that because we thought this is what takes the learning process to another level, because we actually can garner input from totally unexpected viewpoints and from people who are not connected to your work. So there's a high added value. So that's the first thing that drives us. And yes, it's outrageous from the inside view of an organization, but from our point of view, it's a natural next step. And it's not dangerous, because we're not talking about internal company secrets. We're talking about people who are in a reflective mode. How does working in general feel like? How is work challenging me? Those are no secrets, right? These are
Right, because it
personal
doesn't
things.
jeopardize any
Right. It doesn't,
any
yeah.
information.
So even though we are challenging the organization by doing something like this, we're not going in a dangerous space.
And we're not using dangerous or bold methods in that sense, because
Right.
we're using methods or tools and techniques and platforms and event mechanisms that are not crazy. We're using generic tools. We're using things that people already know how to use. We're picking the lowest hanging fruit method to get things done, where people don't have to learn something new just to attend that particular event. So in that sense, if you look at it from the surface, there's nothing bold about it. There's no new machine, no new platform, no new tool. It could even be something that looks under the radar, but to the people that are involved, the fact that they are mindfully engaging in that learning activity, that's the bold part. So we choose our boldness for the ROI, for the return on investment that we're targeting.